Today's video is gonna be a lot different from my other videos, but I think this is probably the most important video that I am ever gonna make and put out. And this is something that I've been thinking of doing for the past few months. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I have disappeared the last few months from my YouTube. Never thought that I would ever be ready to publicly talk about this on a public platform such as YouTube, but I feel that it is important and I have to share a little bit so you guys can kind of understand my journey. I was abused as a child by someone very close to me, and growing up I was also bullied in school, and I was also bullied online. I'm not saying any of this to make myself sound like a victim, because I am not. I'm so glad that all of those things happened to me, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be who I am today. Nowadays, when anything bad happens to me, I actually get really excited because I'm like, oh my god, it's a chance for me to take it as a challenge, not as a stress, and a challenge for me to deal with it and to be an even better version of Rachel tomorrow than I was today. Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't mean that I don't get sad. It doesn't mean that I don't get angry. I look at it from a different perspective and I don't let the pain control me. I'm not a licensed therapist, and I'm not saying that everything I'm saying in this video is absolutely the right way, but these are just things that I have picked up on and learned, especially in the past 10 months, that I feel really helped me grow so much, and I'm just hoping that this could really help you. Let's get into it. 10 ways to live your best life. Now, step 1 is therapy or self-therapy. On the real, therapy is such a personal thing, and I feel like if you're not ready for therapy, you shouldn't force yourself into it. But I also do believe that everyone needs therapy, especially living in the city. If you're living on a farm, honestly, I don't think you need therapy, because just nature is healing. You don't realize it, but people are walking around unhealed and hurting other people, which in turn hurts even more people, like their next generation, like their kids. And this just ends up in a really vicious cycle. I went to see a therapist, and she really taught me tools to help me deal with my anxiety, to deal with my stress, to deal with my trauma. And there are so many ways to do it. I can't fully get into it in a short video. A therapist that aligns with you is really, really important. And if you can't afford that, there are definitely ways to do it, especially in Singapore now. There are a lot of cheaper alternatives. There's even online therapy. If you truly don't know where to start, just honestly go onto Google, go onto YouTube, Google search healing meditations. Do a 5-minute meditation. We're always chasing the next thing. We're chasing the next check, we're chasing the next bag, we're chasing the next watch, we're chasing all these material things, when honestly we should be really chasing a healthy relationship with ourselves. So try it. It's a start. Step 2 is draw boundaries and stick to them. It was really hard to draw boundaries at first, because I am a chronic people pleaser. Growing up in an environment that I didn't feel safe, I always felt like I had to please people around me at my own expense, and this led me to a lot of very toxic relationships, both love relationships as well as friendship relationships. Looking back, I regret nothing about those relationships, because I learned a lot, and I'm sure that I also hurt people on the way because I was unhealed. And if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. I was hurting people without realizing it, and I think a lot of us still are, and that's why it's so important to me to be making this video. Being a chronic people pleaser just meant that even if I didn't want to go to a party, or I didn't want to go to any event, I would just go because I didn't want to cause any problems, and I didn't want my friends to be upset with me. I limited myself to one work event every week, because I realized that that's the maximum that I can do a week. I think it's been working for me because I enjoy events a little bit more now. I'm just not in my head so much. I'm not using my phone at events. I'm not in the toilet hiding. I am present and I am talking to people that I can vibe with, and I'm making connections that, I mean, I hope are genuine. You never know at these kinds of events. You meet a lot of different kinds of people. Not that they're bad people, but a lot of people want to make connections for the purposes of just work and purely work. This is something that I didn't used to understand. I would always think like, oh, people are being so fake. And I mean, there are people who are still fake. Like, I have met people who say hi to me and then go behind my back and tell a client not to work with me. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but there has been so many cases of these. I realized that like when people hurt you, this comes from their own insecurities, and it's not a you problem, it's a them problem. And as long as you are a good person, and as long as you are kind to others, as long as you know yourself, these are the most important things. So draw boundaries. If you don't feel like going, don't go. If you don't think that you have the capacity to do something for somebody else, don't do it. You know, you come first. Like, you are the most important person in your life, and you get to choose what to do with your time, what to do with your energy. And this leads to point number 3, which is to be your own best friend and be your best supporter. All of us, we're born onto this earth alone. We have our parents, of course. We have our siblings. We get married, we have kids. Your husband, he's gonna pass on one day, with or without you. Your kids, they're gonna move on, they're gonna have their own family. You are the only person that you have from birth to death. So you have to be your own best friend, and you have to be your best supporter. Don't bully yourself. Don't let other people bully you, but a lot of people actually bully themselves. Like, you don't talk kindly to yourselves. You don't take good care of yourselves. How can you help other people? How can you take care of other people that you love if you're not taking care of yourself? So be your own best friend. I spend so much time by myself, and I fucking love it. Like, every week I at least have 1 or 2 meals by myself. At least. This is the minimum. I probably do more than that. I will have my Kindle with me. I will have my AirPods on. I have coffee and lunch by myself, and I enjoy my own company. I do journaling every night. I talk to myself. I literally encourage myself. I tell myself how proud I am of myself. If you are not rooting for yourself, how do you expect other people to root for you? Like, if you don't know yourself, how can you tell people who you are? That a lot of people are always trying to pour from empty cups, and I used to be like that because, you know, chronic people pleaser. As I was pouring from an empty cup, I would expect so much back from the other person, because I'm like, look, I have nothing and I'm helping you. The only way that you can really truly help people without expecting anything back is when you are pouring from a full cup. So always be your own best friend, and always take care of yourself first before you even try to take care of anyone else. Spend so much time with yourself that anyone else you let into your life is a bonus, is someone that adds to it, doesn't subtract from your energy, something that will happen very naturally, because you are already your own person and you don't need anybody. So everyone else that is around you is because you want them around, not because you need them. Actually, when you break it down like that, it's really very simple math. It leads to step 4. Pick your friends wisely. Be friends with winners. And what do I mean by this? No, it doesn't mean that be friends with people who have money, who have status, who have wealth. No, fuck all of that. Nothing material in this life could just be taken away as easily as you're given it. So fuck that. What you have is your character. And that means surrounding yourself with people who are good for you. Have you heard of the saying, birds of a feather flock together? Well, this is so true, because you are who you surround yourself with. And if you are always hanging out in a group of people that only know how to gossip about other people, that only know how to talk about material things, who only know how to like compare yourself with others, like, these are not people that are good for you. These are not people that will help you grow. Do you leave these friends feeling energized? Are you hanging out with people who are checking in with you, who really truly care about you, are being real with you? Because honestly, like, there are so many fake friends, especially in a society like Singapore, where people are so, like, everyone is very 现实. This is a fact. Don't do that. Don't hang out with people who are not good for your mental health. Hang out with people who, when you leave, you feel rejuvenated. People who push you to be your best, who will call you out when you're being a shit, who will be real with you like that, who don't care whether you have money, whether you have connections, who don't care about all these, who actually really truly love you for you. Step 5 is to take care of your appearance. There's a saying that says there are no ugly girls, only lazy girls, and I think that this is so true. I'm not saying like go splash out on like really expensive skincare products or makeup products or go and do surgery. I mean, if you want to, that's your choice completely, and I'm like, slay sis, go for it. But it's so important to be clean, to take care of yourself, to be well-groomed. I didn't grow up like the best looking kid. I think I was a very cute kid because I was a little bit fat. I had a really shitty few years when I was a teenager because I had like acne and like I was just not I was not slaying, okay, basically. What changed as I grew up is I learned to take care of myself. Learned all about skincare. I learned how to do my makeup. I went to read up on the best treatments that I can do, that I can afford, and obviously I'm very blessed because like I get sponsored these treatments all the time. I think for a period of time I was very addicted to like fillers and Botox and all that, but now I just do what I need. I think that I have never looked better, honestly. If you don't know where to start, I have a skincare routine on this channel, I have a makeup routine on this channel, and I also have some videos on my Instagram that you can go check out. Looking good while living your best life is a very natural thing when you take care of yourself. Point number 6. Eat well while taking care of yourself. Our body does so much for us, especially as girls. Like, we have our period every month. Like, it's a toll on your body. You need herbs after your period to take care of your body, to 补回去. I take pachan soup and I think that it is life-changing. I used to have like the worst period cramps, but ever since I started taking pachan, I feel so much better. You can just get it from any of your medical halls. I take supplements every day because I don't think my diet is healthy enough to supply me with all the nutrients that I need. Of course, the best way is if you have the time to cook yourself food and to feed your body the nutrients that it needs. Like, fuck the processed food. It's okay to have those once in a while, but on the daily, you should be making healthier choices to take care of your body because you only have one body in this life and you should be taking care of it. Recently watched this documentary on Netflix, Secrets of the Blue Zone. It's about people who live to 100 all over the world, and they are all very healthy, and how they live their lives. I learned so much from this series and I really hope that everyone go watch it. I've never been someone that could cook. I have always been someone that would be very blessed with the kofu of having others cook for me, but I recently picked up cooking because I just feel like I need to learn how to nourish my body. Living in a super stressful city like Singapore takes a toll on your body, so what you feed it is very, very important. Step 7 is to constantly be kicking one bad habit. So I read a book recently, it's called Atomic Habits, and I loved it. It was basically a guide of how little habits make up our lives, and it's so true. And I realized that I had so many bad habits. The first one that I tried to kick was my bad habit of surfing social media before I slept. And honestly, this is so hard because a lot of my life is on social media. My work life anyway is on social media. So I would be scrolling TikTok or Instagram before I sleep, and I would wake up like really anxious because like that's what my brain sees before I sleep, right? So to kick this habit, I got a Kindle. If you don't know what a Kindle is, it's basically by Amazon and you can download like books on it, and it has no blue light. I gotta tell you that it is fucking life-changing because now I put my phone aside for at least 30 minutes to an hour before I sleep. I put it in my wardrobe and I don't touch it, I don't look at it. I come to bed and I read a few chapters of a book before I sleep. Usually it's a self-help book, or sometimes like It's a fiction book that I can't put down. It has made such a big difference in my life, and it was really hard at first, and I would sometimes be in the wardrobe like using my phone because I'm like, shit, like I just need to like, okay, one more video, because it's a bad habit, and it's something that I think a lot of us do, and it gives us so much anxiety because when you're on social media, you are looking at your friends living their best lives because everyone posts their best lives on social media. You think it's chill, but over time it really does take a toll on your mental health. So it's so important to put your phone away, to disconnect, to just spend time with yourself, do something that you like. What I do is I journal, I read, I meditate, and then I use my red light, I mask my face, and then I go to sleep. It is my self-care time, and it's my favorite time of the day, honestly. I realized that as I was talking about on the last point, which is to kick one bad habit, I was already talking about the next point, which is to pick up a good habit, which is reading. For me, it's reading. So when I was a little girl, I used to read so much, and every week my parents would bring us to MPH bookstore. I would be able to choose one book to purchase. Like, my dad would not buy toys for us, but if you want to read a book, he will buy you a book. Picking my one bad habit of using my phone before bed, I picked up my old habit of reading again, and I am doing it obviously different now. Like, I'm doing it on a Kindle instead of actual like paperback books, but it's still a good habit. I'm sure that all of us have at least one bad habit to kick and one good habit to pick up. So that's your point 7 and 8 on how to live your best life. So you know what? Don't procrastinate anymore. Write down what habit you want to kick and write down what habit you want to pick up and start doing it today. And I can promise you that it's probably not gonna be like done in one day. Take the time you need. I believe in you and I think that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. We are almost at the end of the list, and point number 9 is also one of my favorites, and that is to do one good thing for somebody every day. Whether it's a stranger or somebody that you know and love, do something nice for somebody else. I feel like a lot of people don't think about what it does for you when you are able to help somebody, because the only way that you are able to help somebody is if you are blessed enough to do so. I don't think it really matters how you do it, whether it be donating $1,000 to charity, $10 to charity, buying tissue from that uncle, or even something as small as like taking a flyer from the guy giving out flyers. What it is a win for everybody because you are helping somebody else, and by helping somebody else you are reminding yourself how blessed you are, and it's just a win-win for everybody. Last thing on this list, which is probably like the most important thing, which is to be grateful. When I started my journey of journaling, how I started was I would write down 3 things every day that I'm grateful for. And at first it was hard because I was honestly quite depressed when I was trying to do this, and I was always like victimizing myself and like, oh my god, my life is so hard, or like, you know, this other girl was so lucky to get the campaign and I didn't get it, and you know, just like victimizing myself and just like not being a very like grateful person in general. So when I started, like, it was a struggle to even write down the 3 things that I was grateful for every day, but I started from the basics. For example, 1, I am lying on this very comfortable bed that I can call mine, that not everybody has. Or 2, like, my dog is like alive and breathing and she's healthy and she's happy, and you know, there are people out there whose beloved best friends have just left them. 3, I'm so grateful for my mom's cooking. Not everyone still has their moms around to cook for them, and it's such a huge blessing, and I'm so grateful for that. Actually making the effort to write these things down, you start realizing how blessed you are. The universe is always listening to you, and if you're always being negative, if you always want more, if you're always comparing yourself to other people, like, you're not gonna go far in life. You're not gonna be happy in life. Like, you don't realize how much you take for granted until you actually write down what you're grateful for, and that list keeps growing every day. Like, I'll be really honest with you. Last night when I was journaling, I think I wrote down more than 20 things that I was grateful for. As I read through the list of the 20 things, I was asking myself, how can I not be sharing this with all of you? I think it's so life-changing. Stop chasing things. Slow down. Be the best version of you. Attract what is meant for you. and that's how you live your best life. We've come to the end of the video, and I am really hoping that you enjoyed it, that this is a type of video that you would like to see more often, and I'm so excited for us to grow together. I love you all so much.